What's up? How are you? We all, excuse me. Hope we all are well. I'm glad to see everyone, right? As in, see everyone in the land of the living. I get to come outside and see Yah's grace, His mercy, His truth, His love in the air that we breathe and the birds that are chirping, right? In this DMV weather where it's still lots and lots of green outside. I'm excited and grateful that Yah has been patient with me particularly, and that His mercy and His kindness endures. Hallelujah. So I have a responsibility that I want to get to today. I have some things that we have to chop up. We got to talk about. We're going to get into this word, and then I think that's how it's going to go. I think I'm going to read you the scriptures, and then after I read you the scriptures, we're going to talk about what Yah was talking to me about this morning, or we might get right into what Yah was talking to me about. I don't know. Looking at this screen, I think we're going to talk about what Yah spoke to me about first this morning. Okay, so prayer. Okay. It's excuse me. It's important that in being rooted, in staying firm in your foundation, you understand the necessity of praying for yourself and staying prayed up, and also praying in decency and in order. And by that I mean praying according to the will of our Abba, right? Because, and then with praying according to the will of our Abba, praying with a certainty in your heart that not only did Yah hear you, but He's going to act on your behalf. Why? Because you have prayed according to His word, according to that in which He cares about, right? I know it's really dark. It's like rainy weather here today, but yeah. Praying according to that in which He has already revealed to you as a collective, revealed to us as a collective as His will, and then also the vision that He has given you as an individual for your life, right? You're not going to say, at least at this point in your walk, it shouldn't be, oh, it's raining. Father, let me get a motorcycle. No, it's Abba, I would like to have a vehicle to be safe and comfortable as I do your will. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be like, I'm trying to be as general without being specific as possible, so that the clarity is there. By that I mean not praying for a motorcycle, and actually praying for a vehicle to get you to and from destinations according to the will of our Abba, safe and comfortably. The difference between that is a motorcycle isn't a necessity. And not saying that you can't pray for what you want. Help me, Abba, make it plain and clear according to your will. But you, at this point, you should want what Yah wants. Because in this walk, your desires should become His desires. Even though His thoughts and His ways are not like ours, He tells you in His word, who can know a man's thoughts except for his spirit? Therefore, who knows the mind of Yah except for the Ruach HaKodesh, which He has given to us, if we so choose to obey Him, which is why we were reading Deuteronomy 28 and also Deuteronomy 6 the other day. So it's like, if you are walking according to the will of Yah, therefore the spirit of our Abba is amongst you, therefore His thoughts and His ways are amongst you, therefore your thoughts and your ways become His. In that, your prayer life also changes. You no longer make selfish or prayers for self-gain. You make prayers to do the will of our Abba. And in that, a safe and comfortable vehicle might not necessarily be that in which you have your eye on, or which your mind is. Which your mind is on, because Yah knows what's best for us, even when He allows us to understand things according to His mind. He still knows what's best for us. And so while, yes, Yah wants you to have a safe and comfortable vehicle to get you from point A to point B according to His will, right now, that might be a Nissan and not a Maserati. It might be a bus. It might be walking in the rain on foot. You know what I mean? That might be the safe and comfortable thing for you right now. Why? Because On foot, Yah is teaching you whatever it is that he wants to teach you, or is allowing you to teach whatever it is that you are supposed to teach to someone else. Each lesson that we learned is not always for us directly. By that I mean, yes, everything that we learn, Yah doesn't waste time. He's not a time waster. And so while I might burn my arm in cooking while I'm cooking something, right? And I'm like, oh, gotta be more careful. The lesson could be for my daughter to be careful in general. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm already aware of the fact that, you know what I mean, sometimes if you aren't paying attention when you're taking something out of the oven or putting something in there, you could burn your hand real quick, right? But my daughter, who isn't in the kitchen as much as I am, might take a totally different lesson from that. And so, yeah, the burn was, I endured the burn, but the lesson was for her. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't always take things so harshly upon yourself. Like, dang, why do I keep, or what's wrong with me? Sometimes Yah is teaching those around you by your faith. Sometimes Yah is teaching those around you by your strength. You know what I mean? And so that's where discernment and fasting and walking in the spirit comes in, because you have to ask our Abba these questions. Abba, am I moving according to your will, or am I moving on my own merit of my own decision? Because that's when we walk in error, when we move according to our own mind, according to our own ways of understanding. We have to always seek our Abba, and that's, I feel like, thank you, Abba, that's important too, because that's what he was talking to me about this morning. Are you seeking him, right? Continuously, because sometimes we get complacent in relationship, right? You start going on autopilot. You start doing things religiously. I know that I wake up at this time, and then after that I do this, and then after that I do that, and then now I make my bed, and now I kiss my spouse, and now, you know what I mean? And so at some point you are no longer thinking about these things. You're just doing them. They're automated. Do you still have feelings for Yah? Do you still get excited for him? Are you still yearning for him? Is there still some zeal, some spontaneity in the relationship that you have with Yah? You know what I mean? Like, are you willing to challenge yourself in your relationship with him? You know what I mean? If you've done a 3-day fast, are you willing to do a 5 or a 7-day? Shoot, I've seen people on YouTube do 40-day fast. Are you willing to, you know what I mean, set a time every morning where you get up and you're speaking to Yah, you're talking to him, asking him questions, or just sitting and listening to his voice? Like, Abba, I'm going to set aside XYZ time per day where I just sit. I'm not even reading. I'm not praying and asking you for anything. I'm just sitting and listening for your voice to let you know I'm available to your spirits should you want to speak to me about something. Right? Go on a date with Yah. Don't let Shabbat be the only time that you go on a date with our Abba. Date him regularly. Have dates with our Abba. Have dates with the Most High. Commune with him regularly. Not just on Shabbat. Not just when you're in need of something. Not just when you lack clarity. Not just when you're trying to do something and you know that you can't do it without him. Right? Not just when you want to gain something from him. Just kick it with him because you love him. Apart from that too, Yah was talking to me about getting up, right? Because I have been really, really tired these past few weeks. But that's also my fault to an extent, because I know that when I'm not drinking enough, not even not necessarily drinking enough, when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do when it comes to hydration, I feel it. I start to be sleep deprived. You can see it in my skin. Like right now, I'm looking real puffy. Puffy under my eyes. My pores are enlarged. Even my lips are getting darker. And I was just speaking to us the other day. I don't know when the video upload, because sometimes my uploads are wild. But I think I did it. I believe, was it Sunday? Whatever day y'all had me up at 1 a.m. reading, the next day is when he allowed me to come forth and speak according to what he has said regarding, you know what I mean, Deuteronomy 28 and dis-ease in the body and the response that we get, you know what I mean, for disobedience. And so I was talking to me about disobedience and time this morning. He's like, you know what I mean, when I tell you to do something and you're too tired to do what I say when I say with the vibrancy that you need, you're moving in disobedience because you know what you need to do in order to take care of yourself, right? I know that my fruit intake should be increasing right now, and I also have to be careful with that because of the seasons changing, right? So the fruit intake has to match the seasons, yes, but it also has to match for the energy of my body. By that I mean knowing the difference between cooling and warming food that's going to cool your body and food that's going to warm your body. What does your body need? Are you dealing with inflammation, or are you dealing with stagnation? Because they aren't the same. Stagnation is usually a reflect of things cold. Inflammation is due to a temperature rising in your body. So what does your body need, right? And so with it being the weather here fluctuating a lot, and I know that, you know what I mean, it bothers my sinuses. I know that I need to increase my fruit intake, right? But I also, like I said, have to do that in moderation and with intention because of what my body needs. Yes, I need to up my water, but also I need to add things to my water to make sure that I'm being hydrated by it. And these are the things that I know that I need to do, and so I need to do them. And so I was talking to me about that today, because that's disrespectful for me to know what I need to do and still not do it, because I take care of a lot of people when it comes to our Abba. Like, I'll spend hours doing my daughter's hair, or you know what I mean, cooking a meal and prepping and doing all of that other type of stuff. But it's like, okay, but are you taking care of your needs? Are you doing what you need to do in order to make sure that when I call on you, you are ready and vibrant? And that's important. Also, as it relates to time, you know what I mean? Because I'm tired. And I'll be like, all right, at, I don't know, 9 o'clock, I need you to record this video. He'll wake me up. He's like, all right, this is what you're going to say today. And I'm like, okay. And I'm still laying there as I'm saying okay, instead of like either getting up, or just like the other day at 1 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, whenever Yah says to get up, I should be able to get up and get up with a vibrancy. And he was showing me, he was like, you know how when you tell your daughter to come on and she takes, you know what I mean, 45 minutes to get ready, you relieve her. And he's like, the same is for you. When I tell you to do something, you don't have an hour to prepare yourself to do what I tell you to do. It's right then. I don't tell you things for later unless I tell you it's for later. And these are the same lessons that I teach my daughter. And I teach her these lessons because I know how Yah operates. And I don't want her to be, you know what I mean, missing her appointment, right? Because of stagnation in her own self, because of a lack of urgency in her own self. And right, and so Yah was talking to me about that today. Like, you can get left. You will be left. If I tell you to be there in 45 minutes and you're not there in 45 minutes, you're left. It is what it is, because at this point, you're too big. You are too big in me. You are too mature in me. We have been doing this too long for us to be having certain conversations. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all, because I always want to make sure I let you know that I am not exempt. When we come and we have these conversations, it's not me talking at you, it's me speaking with you. Okay? So thought that was important to say, just in case someone else needed to know. And like I said, also because ain't no shame in my game. I know I need my Abba. Apart from the Most High, I am but dust. You know what I mean? And so I'm not ashamed. There is no shame in me to come in here and tell you the errors in my ways when my Abba tells me to do so. When Yah tells me to share, like, yo, share how you know what I mean, you tripped the other day, or how you know what I mean, you lost your balance this morning. Excuse me. I don't have a shame in my game for that. Why? Why would I be ashamed of needing Yah? Why would I be ashamed of constantly and consistently needing to be in his presence so that I can walk according to his perfect and holy will? I don't have no shame in that. Sure don't. All right. So Yah has appointed me to read Psalms 1 and 2 today. And so that's what I'm going to do. Chapter 1. And I think it's funny how some... is it going to focus on it, or is it way too bright? way too bright. Anyway, it says it's Psalms, and I've also seen it where it just says Psalm. But it is Tehillim, which is pluralized, so that is Psalms. But I just think it's cool. Like sometimes you see Psalms, and then sometimes you don't. It's just Psalm. So book 1 is how it's written, and I am reading from the Stone Edition Tanakh. So I'll read you the side commentary for what it says for chapter 1, and it says the book of Psalms begins by asserting that the keys to good fortune are to shun evil influences and to study the Torah. Understand that good fortune is not only monetary, and I say not only because I feel like a lot of times we are raised to believe that money is the root of all evil, and it's not money that is the root of all evil. It's the love of money, the lust behind acquiring, or the selfishness founded by acquiring. You get what I'm saying? And so sometimes we can confuse monetary gain with evil. No, that's not true. A evil mind, a evil love, a wicked heart with money, yes, then money can be evil. But as a tool in itself, no, it's not. That's like saying, you know what I mean, a tree or a car. That car is the root of all evil. No, the person driving it has a heart for evil, and the car has only elevated that wickedness. The same thing with money. Money can elevate someone's wickedness, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the foundation of wickedness in and of itself. And evil influences, understand what evil influences are. Evil influences, thank you, Abba, are those things that cause you to gravitate more towards acquiring monetary gain and less than acquiring wisdom, according to Torah, according to this word. Money shouldn't be your focus. Yah's word should be. And it's like, well, what if I'm hungry and I'm starving? Then even more so should Yah's word be at the forefront, frontlets to your eyes. Because in that starvation, in that deprivation or deprivation, or however you want to say it, in being deprived of things in which you need, you definitely need to speak to our Abba about why. Because he is our provider, and he provides our needs daily. And so if you aren't getting what you need on a daily basis, then you definitely need to go before our Abba and get clarity, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on not only the errors in your ways, but what you're supposed to understand according to the will of our Abba. Okay. Chapter 1, verse 1. Praiseworthy is the man who walked not in the counsel of the wicked, and stood not in the path of the sinful, and sat not in the session of scorners. But his desire is in the Torah of Yahuwah, and in his Torah he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree deeply rooted alongside brooks of water. When trees are planted alongside water, they are nourished in every way, because they are able to pull not only nutrients from fertile ground, which is why the Nile is spoke about so much. They're not only able to pull out nutrients from the fertile ground, but they're also able to receive nutrients directly from the water. It's like they need for nothing. That yields its fruit in its season, and whose leaf never withers. And everything that he does will succeed. Not so the wicked. Rather, they are like the chaff. Remember, I was talking to us about separating the wheat from the chaff. That's verse 4. Not so the wicked. Rather, they are like the chaff that the wind drives away. And the wind is the wind in itself, but also false doctrine. You know what I mean? Also religion and the ways of the world. The ways of the world are wind. You know what I mean? Just air. The prince of the air. Just air. Just going and taking you here and there. Just blowing you any type of way. The wind drives away. Therefore the wicked shall not be vindicated in judgment, nor the sinful in the assembly of the righteous. For Yahuwah attends the way of the righteous, while the way of the wicked will perish. Chapter 2. Why do nations gather together and regimes talk in vain? The commentary on the side for verse 2 says, no matter how powerful the force, nothing can thwart Yah's will. Okay? Nothing can thwart or do away with or change or alter Yah's will. Again, chapter 2, verse 1. Why do nations gather together and regimes talk in vain? The kings of the earth take their stand, and the princes conspire secretly against Yahuwah and against his anointed. Let us cut their cords, and let us cast off their ropes. Let us cut their ties with the Most High. Let us cut their understanding of his word. Let us ensure that they don't apply his word. Cords are things that attach. Let's sever their attachment to the Most High. How? By distracting them and pulling them away and getting them to focus on things that are not of the Most High. How? Through social media, through banks, through loans, through poverty, through oppression, through pointless conversation, through the news and the media, through the cycles of living in bad neighborhoods and let's talk about black on black crime. Let's make their focus these things to keep them from understanding that everything that they need can be found in the word of their Father, lest they actually reconnect to him and find out who they are. Let us cut their cords, and this is verse 3. Let us cut their cords and let us cast off their ropes from ourselves. He who sits in heaven will laugh. Okay? The Most High will mock them. Yah has already marked his children. Those who will follow him have been known since before they were conceived in their mother's womb. Why? Because Yah has predestined them. I myself, right? Oh, no. I went ahead of myself. I'm on verse 5. Then he will speak to them in his anger. He who, Yah, will speak to them in his anger, and his wrath will terrify them. I myself have anointed my king, I who, Yahuwah, my king who, Yahushua HaMashiach, over Zion, my holy mountain. I am obliged to proclaim that Yahuwah said to me, you are my son. I have begotten you on this day. Ask of me, and I will make nations your inheritance, and the ends of the earth your possession. You will smash them with an iron rod. You will shatter them like a potter's vessel. And now, O kings, kings who? Kings of the earth, be wise, be disciplined. O judges of the earth, who are the judges of the earth? We are supposed to be the judges of the earth. Serve Yahuwah with awe, that you may rejoice when there is trembling. Okay, these times now there is a trembling, but we should be rejoicing. Why? Because we are able to see Yah's hand in all things, and we are able to see his word being played out in our physical lives. Yearn for purity, okay? Lest he grow wrathful, he who, Yahuwah, and your way be doomed. Us. Yearn for purity. Yearn for Yah to teach you his ways. Yearn to walk according to the ways of our Abba. Unless he be wrathful with us and our ways be doomed. Our way towards him, our way towards righteousness, our path, our straight and narrow path be doomed. For in a brief moment his anger will blaze. Praiseworthy are all who trust in him. Hallelujah. I pray you read your word today and every day, and that you not only read it, but you become it by sitting with him and taking time with him, honoring him with not only your words, but your actions and the ways of your heart. Hallelujah. May it be well with you today. Shalom, siblings. I shall see you the next time Yah says to visit. See you.